is Rachel. I'm the Talking Dog Stitcher here on YouTube and over on Instagram as well, and this channel is all about cross stitch. This is, I believe, Flosstube 22, and it's the 12th of September today. I have a lot to show you. It has been a really long time since I last filmed. I think it was mid-July the last time I filmed, so we're a couple of months away from the last video, and honestly, I'm so out of practice. This is probably take 7. So we're just going to go with it. We're just going to let it happen. Welcome to any new subscribers. There have been a few of you since my last video, so very, very warm welcome. And to those of you who are returning, very warm welcome back as well. Thank you so much for joining me again. Lots to show you. I've had a very busy couple of months. Not much of it has been stitchy busy. It's been the summer holidays here in the UK, so lots of time entertaining children and keeping our sanity and all that kind of stuff. So that being said, I've got a few projects to show you. I have, I think, 4, maybe 5 new starts. I have a finish that I've just realised that I've forgotten to get out, so I will have to cut at some point to grab that out and show you. And yeah, lots and lots of whips. So let's get into it. Okay, first new start that I have to show you is being kept in this Turtle Bay Stitches project bag. Lovely bees, lovely floral inside, and where are we? The lovely bee charm. And it is this. So this was a gift from Big Stitch 2024, as you can see at the top there, octagonal pin keep. It contains everything we need to turn it into this pin keep, and didn't get very far on it, but I have made a little start. That is where we are. This is stitching up really fast once I get onto it. So the thread that it uses is a Gloriana silk called Cotswold Garden, and it's beautiful. So I've started it. I will eventually finish it. We'll just keep plugging away at it when I feel like it. It's very, very small, so as you can see by my little hoop mark, it just about fits in the smallest nudge, but I've got to be very careful because there's not any fabric for getting it pulled taut on either side, so it does take a bit of finagling, but we get there eventually. The next new start, I just need to grab my cover photo for, bear with me. The next new start is one that I'd actually started before my last video, but I completely forgot to show you, so I'm going to show it to you today. It is Summer Refreshes by Summer House Stitchworks. Really, really beautiful. It calls for 3 colours of DMC, but it's a perfect stash buster kind of pattern because you just kind of pick whichever ones that you want to use. So what am I stitching this on actually? I think it's a Chromatic Alchemy mist dye, so it doesn't have a name. This is where I've got to. So yeah, it's showing up okay actually, like a lemony colour. And the flosses that I've used are all from my Black Needle Society boxes that they send me. So the pink is Live and Die LA by Any Other Name. And then the green and blue are both Night Stalkers Calling. We've got Smurfs and Shaggy. And that's how it's coming together. This is a 20 count Ada, and I'm stitching it 1 over 1 full cross. And this is very unusual for me. I don't tend to have working threads just dangling, so I obviously put this down with a bit of a sense of urgency and just went for it. So this is stitching up quite quickly once you actually get into it. It's a really lovely pattern. Keeping that in the project bag that I made for myself. The next new start is a bit of an interesting one. So at the Big Stitch, there was Letitia from Corrie's Little Shop, and I picked up this. This is a Goldwork and Stumpwork kit, Autumn Mandala on yellow, and I have got started on this, and I actually am really enjoying it. So let me get out where I am. Okay, being very gentle. This is the very center of the mandala, and this is where I have got to. Let me get my board. So it's being stitched on organza, and these are little wires here. You can see them kind of sticking out at the bottom, and we're just working on those petals there. Now, as you can see, this is my first attempt at anything like this, so it's not perfect. It's not. I have lots and lots of practice to get on the level of Letitia and anyone else who does Goldwork and stumpwork, but I am so enjoying this process. After I've done the outsides of the petals, I then need to do long and short satin stitches, I think, to fill in the petals, and then there's some sort of wire work and bead work and all sorts of stuff that goes onto it. So I've really enjoyed that. That took me probably about 3 days of stitchy sessions, so maybe 4 or 5 hours. Really enjoyed that. And that came with everything you needed apart from hoops. So I picked up a couple of just some cheap hoops off Amazon, and it's working really well. Love that. When will I pick it up? Couldn't tell you. So that was the third new start that I've got to show you. And then the fourth new start, and I think final new start that I have to show you, is a stitch along. So this is Away We Ride. I'm stitching this with Lauren, Flossabilities, Sally, Flossie Sews and Grows, and Sherry, Just So Sherry. We started this on the 1st of September, and the hashtag I will pop along the bottom is Away We Stitch. And obviously by Blackbird Designs. So I am stitching this with all of the called for. So it calls for all gentle arts, except I couldn't get hold of any of the Garden Gate. It seems to be gone everywhere. I obviously, with the shop, I stock gentle art. I put an order in with gentle art directly, and they didn't even have any. So it's elusive. If you've got any, hold on to it. I'm sure I'll be able to either substitute something or just kind of work around that until I can find some. That being said, I did have, because it calls for 3 skeins, I did have 1 skein of Garden Gate from where I'd kitted up Strawberry Fields, and I haven't started that yet, so I've just kind of pinched the skein. Just 1. I'm stitching this on a piece of 40 count Confederate Grey by Weeks Dye Works, and I did a centre start because all of the Garden Gate is in the border. So here's where I'm at. This is 1 night's worth of stitching, so just the 1st of September, this is as far as I got. And those windows there are in the Garden Gate, and I have just realised that I'm holding it upside down, and the windows that I've stitched spell boo. So that made me smile when I spotted that. Putting all of my projects out for my WIP Parade. Let's not get started on the WIP Parade. I did try and film my WIP Parade. I got all of my projects out, everything out of the bags, laid them all out in chronological order, and I got about an hour into filming before realising that I had just waffled. I'd forgotten to tell you names of designers, I'd forgotten to say names of fabrics, and I just thought, it's just going to be easy to start again. And then I never got a chance because I've just been that busy. So yeah, we might have to just wait for the end of the year to do that one. Anyway, that's the new starts. I have got 1 finished. So obviously it's September. A lot of people are stitching samplers for Sampler September. I started this for Sampler September last year. Started it on the 5th of September 2023, and I finished it on the 7th of September 2024. So it was 1 year and 2 days old when I finished it. This is Nessie Mitchell. So this is my version of Nessie Mitchell 1926, I think it is, by Mama Loves You GB. I have, hang on, let me get my board. So I have recharted it to say Anne Selina Willoughby, 1879 Wakefield. So I just used the alphabet and charted it in, and it's obviously 1/1. I've stitched this on 32 count Cappuccino by Fibre on a Whim, 2/2, using its Gentle Art Deep Sea for all of the really dark blue, and Gentle Art Blue Jay for my initials R and B, and then these vowels along the middle. Hang on, let me get you flat. Can you tell how out of practice I am? Blinking neck. Right, there we go. She's beautiful. So as you can see in my new office, the walls behind me are beautiful navy blue. So she's going to be framed in a lovely white frame and put up on the wall. So I can't wait to do that. So there we are. A finish. Can you believe it? Especially after in Sherry, if you don't watch Just So Sherry, you absolutely should be. In her last video, because we kind of started these together and said we were going to stitch them together, she's had hers finished for months. And in her last video, she alluded to this and said, you know, we're not going to talk about it. Not knowing that I had been secretly stitching it, trying to get the finish. She knew. She just knew. There's some kind of witchy things going on with that woman, I reckon. She's psychic. You are. Anyway. A finish. Can't believe it. Next up, we have my full coverage. So I have actually had this out and done maybe 300 or 400 stitches since the last time you've seen it. This is Animal Panorama by Adrian Chesterman. I've started in the top left corner. So we're working on the koala's ear at this point in time. And here is where we're at. You see that? There we go. So this is a piece of 25 count Easy Grid Lugana from Zweigart, stitching at 1/1 full cross in CXC threads. And I'm kind of doing a version of the Royal Rose method, but I think I might have made my own version because I'm definitely not sticking to the original version religiously. So yes, what we've got here, so the whole chart is 90 pages. What we've got here is the width of page 1, and then page 1 finishes down here. That is the bottom of page 1. So we've got half a page. Last time you saw it, we were kind of working up here into this column. So lots and lots of stitches, but not much progress. But every stitch is a step towards a finish, isn't it? Grime Guard is from Jess Gets Stitching. She's on Etsy. I picked this up at a retreat. The bobbin winders, which are magnets, were Wooden Cat on Etsy or Daria Makes. I'm looking at getting some of these into the shop, so let me know if these are something that you'd like to have. I love them. I love them. I love being able to just keep everything tucked out of the way. I was using needle minders and kind of tucking it into the Grime Guard, but I'm so much happier now getting them kind of separated out into, right, I'm not going to work on that for a little while. God, dangling threads, because I haven't finished working in my parked threads into this column yet. So they're just dangling up here. Excuse me looking over to the left, that's where I can see if I'm actually in frame. So yeah, that's that. That's as far as we've gotten with Animal Panorama. We're going to keep going. There is a Stitch Along Animal Panorama Sal. There's a Facebook group. I'll pop that in the description box down below. I know the reason that I started it is Danielle, Cardiff Stitcher. Saw her stitching it at a retreat, loved it, wanted it. I had previously started Animal Kingdom bookshelves, Amazing Animal Kingdom by Amy Stewart, which was a Heaven and Earth Designs chart, and I just was really unhappy. I got about 8,000 stitches in, and there's just no definition in the animals. it was trying to fit too much into the stitches, whereas this one, the animals are much bigger, so you can get some definition in them. So much happy with that. I'm really glad I UFO'd the animal Amazing Animal Kingdom and switched over to this one. So really pleased by that. Again, mentioning Just So Sherry and her last video and talking about stitch-alongs, if she is to be believed, she is stitching Christmas rules by herself. Now I can tell you that that's not true. We started it together 1st of July for Jolly July. This is the pattern, and what Sherry has done is she's separated it up into 5 sections, so 1 section a month. It'll be finished by the beginning of December, and we can have it displayed for Christmas. So I believe it was Christmas Rules and Deck the Halls month 1, Drink Hot Chocolate and Hang Your month 2, Stocking Builder Snowman 3, Spread Joy, and then I think Go 4, and then Sledding Believe 5. I am a little bit behind. Let's not all collapse in shock, I know. But I am really close. I'm really close. I'm just going to show you. So I'm stitching this on 32 count Platinum by Zweigart using CXC and the called for Cranberry. It does also call for a Weeks Cocoa, but I'm just using CXC instead. So, this is where I am. Look at me go! Look at me go! So I finished section 1, which was for July. Section 2 for August is almost finished, and then I reckon I can get most of the September section finished before the end of September. Fingers crossed. I might not have it done by the 1st of December. That's just how it is. But I do reckon I could still keep up in time for a Christmas finish for the 25th of December. I'm loving how it's coming out. I'm loving the little ribbing that I'm getting from Sherry about how behind I am, because it is really motivating me to keep going with this one. Long piece of fabric. Very, very happy with how that one's coming along. The floss drops, by the way, these are like clay floss drops. These are from Just Get Stitching. Again, that was a retreat purchase, and it's living in a Cross Stitch Jess project bag. She's on Instagram, and that's where you can buy her bags from. The next couple of projects I've got to show you were from a period of time over the summer where I either had tiny amounts to stitch, amounts of time, or I just couldn't settle on a project. So I'd pick it up, I'd put a strand of floss in and think, I'm done. I don't want to stitch on this one anymore, I'm going to pick something else up. So there's very little progress on this, but because I have touched it, I am going to show it anyway. So this one is another Primrose Cottage. This is I Would Rather Be Stitching. And I'm stitching this on 32 count, just a plain white even weave, and I put in the word tit. That's as far as I got, and a tiny little piece of C, but yeah, TIT is as much as I got into on that one. Little bits, again, every little stitch is a stitch closer to a finish. And then in one of my own project bags in my favourite size, the 8x10. Another one that I picked up for like a strand of thread is Hands On Design Irony. Irony, the opposite of wrinkly. Again, this is on a plain white. This is an 18 count Ada. So I think I only had opposite of wrinkly, and then I've put in these swirls and then these outlines here. Progress. Progress is progress. Again, for some reason in a Christmas themed bag that I made myself, because why not? Again, another one that I just picked up. Oh, I was meant to say that one was in CXC. as well, as is this one. This is Art Nouveau Fox by Needle Lock Designs. It's one of my favourite designers, just love her style. And this is on a piece of 40 count Megan Coffee Craft fabric. And I just put in another couple of strands up in the corner. So we are slowly getting towards the fox. I think I'm about 10% on this one. And see if I can get the colour to show. That's probably closest to what real life is. All of the threads, floss drops by Just Get Stitching again. Beautiful. That lives. Favourite size, this one's a Turtle Bay Stitches project bag. Beautiful. Okay, another stitch along. This stitch along has finished. This is the Deadly Aquarium Sal. It is fully finished. Everyone's got the full pattern now. And I have finished Exhibit 1. But I finished Exhibit 1. How exciting! Excuse the crinkles, nothing has been ironed. There we are. So I finished Exhibit 1, which is down here. It's the moray eel and the scuba diver's helmet, and I've started in on the puffer fish as well. So, more progress. Keep chugging away at it, just like my greenhouse of oddities. No doubt the next Lola Crow stitch along comes out. I'll start that one too because they're just amazing. She's just released at Needlework Marketplace one called the Ghostly Ball, which probably another one that I'm gonna have to start. This is another Coffee Craft fabric. It's a 40 count linen, so it's going to be quite small compared to. See if I can get the colour to show. Wow, it's crinkly. Oops. Yeah, there we go. And that lives in a Little Loops project bag, all in CXC. Next up is my oldest WIP. I've been getting this out every Wednesday, or most Wednesdays, for Winnie the Pooh Wednesday Sal, hosted by Cardiff Stitcher Danielle. I know Kayla of Stitching with My Littlie is joining on that. They are both Flosstubers. I will tag them down below. And the idea is to work on anything Winnie the Pooh. And it just so happens that my oldest WIP is this. This is Disney's Watercolours A Snoozy Day. It's a designer stitches kit, and I started this way back in 2016 or 17. It's been years. It's been a long time. I think it was 2016, August 2016. I'm so close. I'm getting there. The last time you saw it, I had all of the characters stitched and I had the back stitched all the way up to Piglet. And as you can see, I have now also back stitched Roo and worked on that tree, because that tree is all I've got left. As you can see, there's a lot of tree. So we're just plugging away at that now. Using all of the kit materials. I love how it's looking. I do really want to get this finished. It's just a lot of green. I like to switch colours regularly, and that's just not an option when it's just green and then green and then green. But we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. I think I've got two more to show you. Excuse me. So next up, Lucy Beam, Disturbed Women. I started this earlier this year, and it's stitched on a 28 count even weave by Megan of Coffee Craft Fabrics. And here is where we're at. See if I can get the colour to show it. There we go. It is like highlighter yellow, but mingled in with that grey. And I think a couple of times I have said this, the fabric is deranged. It's just perfect for this. Absolutely perfect. So I've got in a few more letters. I think I got T-I-O and half of the N is what I've done. And we're obviously, as I go, working the border across so that I don't have to do all that at the very last minute. And this, when finished, will go on my office door. One of my favourite things about the chart is that Lucy Beam has included sort of a bit of history about what kind of ailments would land you in this evaluation centre. And there is obviously things such as grief and schizophrenia and all that kind of thing, but also things like witchcraft, epilepsy. Let me see if I can. Reasons for admission, 1864 to 1889. Asthma, bad company, bad whiskey. Egotism, excitement, exposure, fall from a horse, female disease. Yeah. Fighting fire, fits and desertion of husband, grief, gunshot. So, you know, things that may have been legitimate. I mean, you'd never call anyone disturbed, would you? But legitimate ailments from, and to just, you know, being a woman, as you do. So I'm stitching that, sorry, off topic. We are stitching it in tin bucket, Gentle Art tin bucket. And then there's a couple of arrows that go across the chart. They're not arrows, those bands. So I'm going to stitch those in amethyst. And it lives in a Tuttle Bay Stitches project bag in my favourite size. Last one is this one. This is another Needle Lot Designs. This is Egyptian Scarab. This came with me to soft play a couple of times over the summer holidays. Thankfully my son is now of an age where he can kind of run off on his own and find friends, make friends. Not quite sure. So I just, as long as I've got him in my sight, I can sit, stitch, keep an eye on him. The only downside I did notice is that I keep Pattern Keeper on, I've got it on a Kindle, and for some reason when you have a tablet out on the table at a soft play, children come over and ask you to use it, which I was really surprised at. The soft play is huge with big slides and ball pits and yeah, people coming over and children coming over and trying to ask me if they could watch YouTube on my tablet. It's like, no, this tablet doesn't work like that. This is all it does. Sorry. Anyway, so that's what I took there because it was on Pattern Keeper. I could zoom it in, and it was blocks of colour and things. So this is as far as I have got with that. I love the colours in this. It's just a piece of 32 count, plain white, even weave, using CXC in the called for colours in a project bag that I have made for myself. I love it. I was looking at it before I started putting in these blue, thinking, oh, I'm nearly done with the wings, but no, they are huge. There's plenty more wing to stitch, but that was a super kind of mindless stitch while out in the wild. Okay, that's it for stitching. Next up, I have some acquisitions. I've got a giveaway that I won. I've got some shopping that I did at the Big Stitch. And yeah, I'm just going to show you. The first thing I have to show you, because I'm so excited about it. All I want to do is get it off of my little trolley and back up on display on my shelves. I won Yasmin's Made with Love Instagram giveaway. Look. It's one of her hand-painted hexagonal boxes. The little 3D bees, can you see it sticking out there? Look at that. So, not only did I win the box, I also won a sunflower project bag. This is beautiful, really rigid. Love the lining. It also came with the pattern, which is designed to fit on the top of the box. So that is definitely what I'm going to do. Stitch it, mount it on the top, and a Charlie Feathers needle minder. How cute is that? So thank you again, Yaz. I absolutely love it. If you get the chance to get one of Yaz's hand-painted boxes, absolutely jump at it. I tried shortly after I received that one. I was like, I need another one, but she didn't have any on the site, and I think I've missed the Halloween ones, but they look amazing, and I highly, if you can, grab one with both hands. They're amazing. I just can't get over the 3D bees. They're just the cutest thing. So yes, that's going back on display until I stitch something, or stitch the pattern to mount on the top. Big stitch. What can I say about the big stitch apart from it was amazing? So I went there with the shop. I took Talking Dog Stitchery. It was my first ever retreat. It was mind-blowing. I don't think I took Sophie, Turtle Bay Stitches, as my assistant, and thank goodness I did. She was invaluable because I was just busy. We were just busy all day. There was always someone at the table having a chat, having a look, looking at the threads especially, and it was just amazing. If you came and said hello at Big Stitch, thank you so much. It absolutely made my day. I was not alone as a vendor at the Big Stitch though. There were some amazing vendors. Because I was so busy, I didn't get to go and see them all. I had to come back. I had to sneak back in on the Sunday. Like, Sammy, I'll wear sunglasses and a hat. Like, just let me back in, because I forgot to order some XJU design fabric while I was there. And I had to come back in and just be like, just get me this. Well, I was about to say thank goodness I did, but might have been better for my bank account if I hadn't. I'm picking up the fabric at Floss Friends, so in November I will have it. I've got some of the fabric that we all kind of hear about in Flosstube videos. There's some grandpa's sleeve, some grandma's slip, some, I think it's golden sand or sand dune or something like that. I've got four fat quarters of XJU design fabric coming. I cannot wait to get my hands on them. They had some kind of swatches of all of the colours that they do in various sizes and counts and things. So we were able to flick through and be like, oh my god, that colour is amazing. I love the modelling on that one, and it was a brilliant way to do it. I do wish, however, that I'd pre-ordered so that I could have taken some away with me, but it is what it is. It's just something exciting to pick up later down the line, isn't it? I did manage to get around some of the vendors. So where I could, I did a lot of shopping. So to one side of me, I had Isabel of the Primitive Hair, which was amazing. She was lovely. Hi Isabel, thank you so much for being such a lovely neighbour. And on the other side, I had Romy of Romy's Creations. What a sandwich, eh? Two amazing designers. So I did a bit of shopping, especially with those two. And I also kind of tried to do a little lap of the room where I could. So I'll just get on with it. I'll just show you what I picked up. So from Andrea, who is Bowen's Bags and Things, I picked up something I'd never actually seen. I've seen them kind of in theory and in shops and in person, and like in Flosstube videos, but I'd never seen one in person. And it is a wrap, a project wrap. So let's get my Disturbed Women out. Put your project in. Wrap it up. Get the ribbons, which are lovely and long, so that you can cut them to size yourself. Tie it in a bow, and then, you know, no folding. Amazing. So this has all been sat to one side for like 2 months until I could film and then start using it. So I can start using it. We'll go back over there. So that, yeah, I just love the, I love me some strawberries, me. And then from Romy's Creations, I bought Halloween needle book. Can we get it to focus without glare? Halloween needles and pins stitched with love. And Romy dyes her own flosses as well, so I picked up 2 of the flosses. So the chart does give you DMC equivalents, so I picked up my 2 favourites, which were the Snowflake and Gentle Violet. How lovely are they? So, oops. So I will stitch that at some point. From Manny Di Donna, who was just next door to Romy's Creations, I picked up this one, Christmas Cookies. From Hawkins Hobbies, I realised that while I was there early in the morning, we'd unpacked, we'd set up the table, and I realised I'd left all my stitching in the hotel room. So I thought, I need to pick something up so that I've got something to stitch when I'm quiet. Lol. Needn't have bothered, but I am pleased to have this. This is Buttons and Beads Winter Stag. Picked this up from Hawkins Hobbies, intending that this was going to be my retreat stitch while I was, you know, quiet. And as you can see, it's not even been opened, but I'm happy to have that in my stash. And then I went a bit crazy with primitive hair. So I picked up Isabel Gowdy, The Witch of Aldern. This has now been released for general sale, so you'll be able to, pretty sure I've got copies to go in the shop, so keep an eye out for primitive hair going on the website. Look at that rabbit, amazing. And then Isabel's fabrics are just incredible, so I've picked up 4 pieces of fabric from primitive hair. So firstly we have Damasco. You see there? Should I put my board up? There we go, look. We had a chat about this. It's not printed, it's almost like infused into the fabric. So it is only one-sided, but it's come through slightly. Damasco. I have to keep the tags with them, otherwise we are going to get very confused. And then we've got Witchcraft. Probably should have unfolded these. Perfect discovery of witches, witchcrafts, operations, voices. Look at that. Label. The Berlin Linen. Unfold, come on. These are all 30 count linens, which I didn't mention. Oh, tag. All right, and this is the Snowfall. And I have one of the Primitive Hairs projects already, which the model is stitched on this, so I knew I needed it. Look at it. Isn't that amazing? So, because it's my birthday coming up, my birthday is at the end of October, I've decided, just realised that all of my stack is making it into frame. I've decided that I'm going to stitch a primitive hair as my birthday start. Hopefully videos will be a bit more frequent then, and there'll be a few more reminders and things like that. But if you'd like to start a primitive hair pattern with me for my birthday, 30th of October, that would be amazing. I cannot wait to get that started. Okay, so after a really brief tidy up, I just want to touch on a few more future plans. So along with my birthday start, I obviously want to finish both Christmas rules and my Winnie the Pooh Snoozy Day project by the end of the year. Those are my only two kind of main goals, main plans. I don't tend to plan my stitching other than that. I just kind of grab what I feel like at the time. Hence why there's been some really patchy, tiny little progress WIPs in this video. So those are my two that I want to get finished. And the other plans that I have are kind of revolve, I suppose, around retreats. So next weekend, the 21st of September, the beautiful and wonderful Sophie of Turtle Bay Stitches, and in her fabric shop, she's rebranding. So she purchased it as Pink Scissors fabric and has now, almost 6 months later, made the step to kind of merge her stitchy and fabricy businesses together. So as of the 20th of September, no, the 21st of September, it will be known as Turtle Bay Textiles. It's in Bridgend, and on the 21st, she's having like a little relaunch party. So there will be goodies, there'll be discounts, there'll be familiar faces, there'll be workshops, loads and loads of stuff to come and see, come and shop, come and chat at Turtle Bay Textiles on the 21st of September. I will pop a link to the Facebook event in the box down below. If you can make it, I'm going to be there. I'll be bringing just a very small pop-up shop so that you can pick up some stitchy goodies as well. Let me know if you're coming, that would be amazing. We'd love to see lots and lots of stitchers heading down to South Wales to give Sophie a massive, massive boost and support for her rebrand and for the next steps for Turtle Bay Textiles. We cannot wait. I cannot wait to see Sophie. I cannot wait to see some of you. Then, the very next day, I will be at Loopy Lou's retreat near Cardiff with the shop as a vendor. It's just a day retreat, and I do believe it might be full, but I will pop again, for all of the events, I'll pop a link to the Facebook pages so that you can inquire if there's any spaces. You might be able to sneak in and grab one. That's the 22nd of September. And then the week after that, I will be in Crewe at the Ladybird retreat on I think it's the 28th of September. Just the Saturday, I'll be there and back in a day, taking the shop, taking my threads, hopefully getting some stitching done and some chatting and meeting some new people there. I am then going to be at Stitch in London, weekend 2. I'll be there again as a vendor. I was invited and I wanted to be there for weekend 1 as well, but unfortunately I have a clash. I'm going to a wedding, so I can't come. But if anyone's going to Stitch in London weekend 1 and wants some Talking Dog stitchery things to pick up while you're there, pop onto the website, place a pre-order. I am sending Marie a box of pre-orders for weekend 1 attendees so that everyone can have the fun of it. But I will be there in person weekend 2 with the shop, and I cannot wait to see any of you there. And other than that, we're into November, because weekend 2, Stitch in London weekend 2 is the 11th, 12th, 13th of October, I believe. And then we've got Floss Friends in November, which I will be again at the shop, with the shop. Lots of stitching, I'm hoping. Lots of shopping, lots of chatting, and hopefully some stitching. There was no chance for big stitching, but smaller retreats, I get to actually sit and have a chat and have a bit of a stitch, which would be really nice. So I cannot wait for all of those. I have no other further plans stitching wise. There's a bit of, I don't know if you can see, where are we? There's a little bit of finishing off to do in my office, so there's probably going to be more decorating than stitching to be done. But I'll get there. We've done loads. We've built in, I don't know if you can see, but that's us framing out the bookshelves. So I've got a wall of bookshelves, which is amazing. So we've done a lot. We've got a lot done, all with the kids at home. So pretty happy with it. So that's it for future plans. 2 projects that I definitely want to get finished before the end of the year. A start that I want to do. I've yet to decide which primitive hair chart I'm going to start and on which fabric, but it's going to be primitive hair on primitive hair. And yeah, I'll decide that a little bit later, a bit closer to the time. I think that's it. I think that's all I've got to tell you. Please come down to Bridgend if you are nearby or in the area. Head down on the 21st of September. I'll pop the link down below and I might be able to see you there. I might see you at a retreat that's coming up, and if not, I will see you here next time. Thank you so much. Bye.